Events in history on July 11th. 138. Antoninus Pius succeeds Hadrianus Emperor of Rome. 911. Signing of the Treaty of St. Clair-sur-Epte between Charles the Simplined Rollo of Normandy. 1244. Khwarezmian Tatar sack Jerusalem, decimating the city's Christian population and driving out Jews. 1302. Battle of the Golden Spurs. Gulden Sporenslag in Dutch near Kortrijk, Belgium, or Flemish coalition defeat the French army of Philip IV. 1346. Charles IV of Luxembourgis elected Emperor of the Roman Empire. 1347. Heir to the Bohemian throne elected German King Charles IV. 1405. Chinese fleet commander Zheng He sets sail on his first major expedition to the Spice Islands, leading to 108 vessels, including 62 treasure ships with 27,800 sailors. 1423. Arnold van Egmont becomes Duke of Giller. 1476. Giuliano della Rovere is appointed Bishop of Coutances. 1525. Trial against heretic John Pastorius at The Hague. 1533. Pope Clement V excommunicates lands King Henry VIII. 1536. The Convocation of Clergy subscribito the 10 Articles. Beliefs of the English Church under Henry VIII. 1576. English explorer Martin Frobisher sights Greenland. 1588. French King Henry III acceptance of Catholic League. 1616. Samuel de Champlain returns to Quebec. 1635. Armies of Savoy Mantua, Parme-occupy Milan. 1656. The first Quakers to land in America, Boston. English women in Austin and Mary Fisher are arrested and jailed by the Puritan colonial government. After 5 years' imprisonment, they are deported back to Barbados. 1663. Oxford mathematician Anjan Wallace gives a lecture on Euclid's parallel postulate, first Western attempt to derive the parallel postulate as a theorem. 1673. Netherlands and Denmark sign defense treaty. 1690. Battle of Drogheda-Boyne. King William III defeats deposed King James II of England. 1708. Battle at Oudenarde. Great Alliance beats France. 1735. Mathematical calculation suggests that it was on this day that Pluto moved from the 9th to the 8th most distant planet from the Sun for Thelis time before 1979. 1740. Jews are expelled from Little Russia by order of Tsarina Anne. 1781. Thomas Hutchins designated geographer of U.S. 1789. French King Louis Vuitton's Mrs. Financiam Sturgis Necker, sparking riots in Paris. 1792. Prussia army moves into French territory. 1798. U.S. Marine Corps established an active Congress. 1801. French astronaut Marin Louis Ponce discovers his first comet. 1804. Vice President of the United States Soren Burr mortally wounds former Secretary of the Treasury Lynder Hamilton in a pistol duel. 1811. Italian scientist Amito Avogadro publishes his memoir on the molecular content of gases. 1812. U.S. invades Canada Detroit frontier. 1818. English poet John Keats writes in the cottage where Burns is born lines written in the Highlands and Gadfly. 1848. Edmund Hickley gets first known 10-wicket innings, Kent v England. 1848. London's Waterloo Station opens. 1859. Big Ben's second and current bell first chimes from inside the clock tower. 1861. Battle of Laurel Mountain, Virginia. General Morris forces retreat of rebels. 1861. Battle of Rich Mountain, Virginia. Rosecrans forces rebels to surrender. 1862. Lincoln appoints General Halleck General-in-Chief. 1863. Battle at Green River, Kentucky. Morgan's Ohio raid. 1863. Japanese battle cruiser shoots at Dutch warship Medusa, kills 4. 1864. Confederate forces led by General Jubal Early Begin invasion of Washington, D.C. with the Battle of Fort Stevens. 1877. Kate Edger becomes New Zealand's first woman graduate and first woman in the British Empire to earn a Bachelor of Arts. 1882. British fleet bombards Alexandria. 1888. Pennsylvania's Monongahela River rises 32 after 24-hour rainfall. 1889. Tijuana in Mexico becomes a city. 1892. U.S. Patent Office says Joseph Swan rather than Thomas Edison invented the electric light carbon for the incandescent lamp. 1893. A revolution led by the liberal general and politician Jose Santos Zelaya takes over state power in Nicaragua. 1893. The first cultured pearl is obtained by Kiichi Mikimoto in Japan. 1896. Wilfrid Laurier sworn in as the 7th Prime Minister of Canada. 1897. Salomon August Undry leaves Spitsbergen by balloon headed for the North Pole. 1900. Board General de Laure captures Scots Greys and Lincolns. 1902. British Prime Minister Lord Salisbury resigns. 1905. Black intellectuals and activists led by W.E.B. Du Bois organized the Civil Rights Niagara Movement. 1906. The Gillette Brown murder inspires Theodore Dreiser's An American Tragedy. 1915. German cruiser Königsberg sinks off Dar es Salaam. 1916. Battle of Verdun. Germany launches an offensive on Fort Souville in France, but are defeated by artillery and machine gunners. 1920. East and West Prussia vote in a plebiscite to become part of Germany, though a slice of West Prussia will be handed to Poland to provide a Polish corridor. 1921. Mongolia gains independence from China National Day. 1924. Muslim-Hindu rebellion in Delhi, India. 1925. Queen Wilhelmina of the Netherlands names Hendrikus College of the Anti-Revolutionary Party as head of Dutch government. 1934. FDR became first U.S. president to travel through Panama Canal. 1936. Triborough Bridge linking Manhattan, Bronx, and Queens opens. 1940. Marshal Philippe Pétain, French hero of World War I, becomes head of the Vichy collaborationist government of France. 1941. German troops attack Djenjeper. 1943. 7th day of Battle of Kursk, USSR. Operation Citadel continues. 1943. Counterattack by Hermann Göring's Armored Division in Sicily. 1944. Franklin Roosevelt announces that he will run for a 4th term as President of the United States. 1946. Kingman Douglas ends term as Deputy Director of CIA. 1948. First air bombing of Jerusalem. 1952. General Eisenhower nominated as Republican U.S. presidential candidate. 1954. First White Citizens Council organizes in Indianola, Mississippi. 1955. Congress authorizes all U.S. currency to say "In God We Trust." 1955. New USAF Academy dedicated at Lowry AFB in Colorado with 300 cadets. 1960. To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee is first published by J.B. Lippincott and Co. 1961. Gene Kiniski beats Vern Gagne in Minneapolis to become NWA champ. 1962. First transatlantic TV transmission via satellite, Telstar I. 1963. South African ANC members Walter Sisulu, Andrew Mlangeni, and Govan Mbeki arrested. 1965. Israeli Mapa Party nominates David Ben-Gurion. 1971. The Irish Republican Army set off a number of bombs in the center of Belfast, injuring a number of people. 1973. Brazilian Boeing 707 crashes near Paris, 122 killed. 1974. House Judiciary Committee releases evidence on Watergate inquiry. 1974. World Football League plays first games. 1976. France performs nuclear test at Mururoa Atoll. 1976. In pregame promo at Atlanta County Stadium. 34 couples wed at home plate followed by championship wrestling headlocks and wedlocks. 1977. U.S. Medal of Freedom awarded posthumously to Rev. Martin Luther King Jr. 1978. Auto with liquid gas crashes and explodes in Spain, 160 killed. 1979. U.S. Skylab enters atmosphere over Australia and disintegrates. 1980. American hostage Richard Queen freed by Iran militants due to illness. 1981. Neva Rockefeller is first woman ordered to pay her husband alimony. 1984. Government orders airbags or seatbelts would be required in cars. By 1989. 1984. Lucas Mangope re-elected president of Botswana. 1985. Refurbished Space Shuttle Columbia moves overland from Palmdale to Dryden. 1985. USSR performs nuclear test at Eastern Kazakh, Semipalatinsk, USSR. 1986. Mariska Puica of Romania runs to 1,000 meters in 5:28. 69 record for women. 1986. Mary Beth Whitehead christens surrogate baby M. Sarah. 1990. Oka crisis, First Nations land dispute in Quebec. Canada begins between Mohawk people and town of Oka. 1991. Nigeria Airways DC-8 crashes at Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, killing all 261 passengers and crew on board. 1991. Total solar eclipse is seen in Hawaii. 1992. Presidential candidate Ross Perot at NAACP speech calls them "you people." 1994. Suriname guilder devalued to $1 equals SG 180 during a period of high inflation. 1995. More than 8,000 Bosnian Muslim men and boys are massacred by Bosnian Serbs after they overrun the UN safe haven of Srebrenica on directive of Rado von Karadzic. 2001. Iraq resumes oil exports, ending a 5-week halt in protest of a U.S. and British-sponsored UN Security Council resolution. 2006. 209 people are killed in a series of bomb attacks in Mumbai, India. 2007. 15th ESPY Awards, Ladainian Tomlinson, Tarine Moet win. 2011. Neptune completes its first orbit since its discovery on September 23, 1846. 2012. Police Academy suicide bombing kills 20 in Sana'a, Yemen. 2012. SA 2012 P1, the fifth moon of Pluto, is discovered. 2013. 30 people are killed in a wave of bomb and gun attacks across Iraq. 2014. The UN Security Council calls for a special meeting to discuss the current Israel-Palestinian conflict. Israel continue attacks on Gaza. 2015. Mexican drug lord Joaquin El Chapo Guzman escapes from Altiplano maximum security prison west of Mexico City via a specially constructed 1.5 kilometers tunnel from his cell to a nearby house. 2018. Oldest stone tools outside Africa discovered in Lanchan country, Western China, estimated to 0.1 million years old, made by hominins. 2019. Japan's Hayabusa to spacecraft lands on the Ryugu asteroid 300 meters come 185 meters miles from Earth for a second time to collect samples. 2019. Last models of Volkswagen's Beetle car are produced in Pueblo, Mexico, ending production worldwide after 80 years. 2019. U.S. stock markets reach new records. The Dow tops 27,000 points for the first time, and the S&P 500 hits 3,000 points. 2021. Rare mass anti-government protests across Cuba due to economic hardships and effects of COVID-19 led to widespread arrests. 2022. NASA and U.S. President Joe Biden reveal first image from James Webb Space Telescope. cluster of galaxies called SMACS 07 to 3 billion light-years away, as they appeared 13 billion years ago. 2022. New study suggests dogs can see with their noses. First documentation of a direct connection between the olfactory bulb and occipital lobe in any species.